Okay, cool. I'm just I can usually tell when the mic is like working well, but it's okay, perfect. Uh Doing good. Finally, the biggest stress is over. I finally found a place to live, which was honestly my biggest stressor now, fourth year, starting residency in a little under 2 months now. And I was stressed about finding a place to live. So, nope. I actually found a really good apartment. The RV, I'm really glad I got an apartment. Let me go turn off that light back there. It's kind of bright. Yeah, so the RV, like I was thinking about it more and more, and as I thought about it, I was like, if I have to stay in an RV for a whole Colorado winter, that sounds like a really bad idea. So I decided to, just keep looking for apartments. One popped up, and I messaged the whatever landowner, uh, and they've had residents in the past, and they really like residents because we're pretty like I don't know, clean and we pay on time and stuff. Dependable, I guess. So as soon as I told her that, she pretty much reserved it for me, and I literally paid the deposit like a few hours later after she gave me a video tour. And I'm really happy I got a place to live now. I'll just put this. Oh, no big deal. So yeah, pretty cool. A little bit more expensive than I wanted to spend. I know. I was like, oh, it's a perfect shirt to wear today. I've been wearing it all day though, so it's not like I planned it. But I got this shirt. Oh, I got it when I was at the AAFP conference last year. Um, so yeah. Yeah, the apartment's a little bit more expensive than I wanted it to be, but that's all right. It's literally like super close to where I'm gonna be, where I'm gonna be working, and I honestly might even just work. I might honestly just walk or bike to work every day. So that's crazy. What is a good natural medicine for kidney disease? Oh man. I mean, I won't give like any, medical advice or anything, but I guess a good natural medicine for kidney disease is literally watching your diet day to day. Whenever you have kidney disease, you want to avoid foods that have like really high specific. I mean, depending on the stage of kidney disease, you really want to avoid phosphorus and things that I really like avocados have a ton of phosphorus. So you should kind of chill a little bit about that. And obviously, like your sodium intake and things like that. Caffeine has been shown to, of course, like improve renal blood flow, which could help with healing, or whatever. But I don't know if I've seen any studies that it's, I wouldn't call it a medicine to like reverse or improve kidney disease. I think it's good to just manage whatever stage you're at currently. Trying to think if there's anything else that I've seen in the past that kind of makes me that I can share with you that I think would be good for kidney disease. Mostly watching your diet, I think, is really, really important because with kidney disease, you're probably having, like other metabolic issues at that point. So managing those metabolic issues with a good diet, I think, is your best natural medicine. Although you should just be doing that in general to live a longer life. Yeah, what's going on with you guys? What are you guys up to on a random Sunday night? I was gonna go out, but I am a little bit sick. Got somewhat of a stomach bug, so I decided to stay in and chill. Had a lot of time to my hands, so I decided to edit a couple videos, post them, and then I was like, "Oh, I'll go live since I'm not sleepy yet." I think I'm gonna go do a mini workout before going to bed. Just do like some sit-ups until failure tonight, and then try to be in bed by 12. Go to sleep. Good to hear, Ruben. Yeah, I mean, kidney disease is tough, especially once it's progressed to like certain stages. It's really hard to reverse. But I think maintaining a good diet is literally the best thing you can do. I mean, just overall, anytime, but obviously, especially when you have a disease, I think it's especially important to manage your electrolytes because your kidneys really manage a lot of your bodily electrolytes. So getting those out of whack, not eating too much salt, just kind of being mindful of things like that, making sure your sugars are well controlled. Those are all things you want to make sure you're doing. I also, I mean, yeah, even like exercise, just with that increased blood flow, with that vasodilation, I think really helps. Um, yeah. Yeah, what are you guys up to tonight? Sunday night? Why aren't you guys asleep or doing something else? Just working on a couple of side projects I've been doing. I'll share it later on. I was reading BRS psychology before resting my head, and then I got your notification. Ooh, BRS psychology. I'm pretty sure I have the BRS in my backpack over there. The anatomy and physiology, and then another one, but I don't remember which one it was. Those are really, really good, like review books. I loved them to review just random things. They were awesome. I think they're super like well summarized. Yeah, a little cardio, not much, because my blood pressure rises a lot. Oh, I see, Ruben. Yeah, that would make sense. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure on how that works. I think I may have heard, that raising the electrolyte might not be good, but it can be good. But that would make sense. If it raises your blood pressure really high, that can be more damaging to your kidneys, definitely. I have a WQ. What's a WQ, Diana? Something question? Oh, you have a question. Yeah, tell me. Ask me. Sonia, when do you start residency? I officially start June 19th. Start June 19th. Oh man, I'm so excited to get back into it, y'all. I don't think you guys understand how excited I am to start working 80-hour weeks. I'm kind of bored. Fourth year med school is really boring. I front loaded it too much. I'm doing a culinary medicine course right now, which has been super fun and awesome, but I am ready to get back into it. Ready to get back into it. I'm bored. I wanna I wanna get back into it. Diana, so I'm studying for the MCAT to get back into med school. Sometimes I find myself reviewing USMLE practice questions, as in, I think I should just focus on MCAT. I agree. Yeah, definitely. I think you really need to focus down on the MCAT before you start studying for step one, because the MCAT is a million times different than step one. Like the relevance is it's way different. Oh, I see the review. Yeah, that's actually, I see what you're saying. I think. Oh, dude, dang, that's tough. Um, oh yeah, that's tough. I don't know what to tell you. I think reviewing definitely, but definitely the MCAT takes priority right now, so that you can get back into medical school. If not, all that's kind of gonna be wasted. And I feel if like it'll come back. It'll come back easier and quicker once you're in medical school and you start studying for step one. It'll come back a lot quicker than I think you believe. So I would definitely focus just honestly just purely on the MCAT. Uh, I think that's just what I would do though. For that, I felt hopeless in terms of getting back in, but I'm working towards it no matter what. Yeah, I think that's why. Like, you really need to focus just 100% on getting back into medical school, and then once you're in, then worry about step one. But I think you need to like just really focus on raising the MCAT, whatever you need to get into medical school before you should be doing USMLE stuff. Because after, if you're not don't get into medical school, it's kind of futile, unfortunately. And no, I remember the MCAT. I definitely feel like I don't know. I definitely feel like the MCAT was a lot harder for me in terms of just I thought the MCAT was way harder compared to step one, compared to step two. Step two was super easy for me, and now I've been debating. I was like, I think I should start studying for step three. That's what I really should be doing. I think I should. I think I should start dedicating like an hour every day to just start studying for step three and just kind of get used to it. Because you can't register for step three until you officially start residency and get permission from your program director. So maybe I'll start studying that way. As soon as I start, I can register and just take it early and not really worry about it too much. Do you recommend a review course? I do not recommend any of the big box. Um, I don't recommend I don't recommend any of the major MCAT prep companies. I think they are way too expensive. And I truly believe you can study on your own and get the score you want. Some of the best resources, there's a lot of resources online. Um, I think Anki is the best thing. Khan Academy, it's 100% free, and you can just you know do that to get a good baseline, and then on top of that you can do practice questions. I got the next step. Now it's like Blueprint MCAT. I wouldn't say I would want to buy their whole entire course, but they had a really like Next Step had a really good practice question book. And then if you go to every single major MCAT company and you sign up with a random email, you can take a practice test and kind of gauge yourself that way. So those are a few little workarounds. I am working on a project. You've probably seen my MCAT with AI project. I'm on Instagram and I created a website, MCAT with AI. You can, it's literally at its starting stages. I'm basically teaching people how to use AI for the MCAT. So that's like in its infancy stages. I can't really say like I can guarantee you'll get a good score. So that's kind of the things I got for you. What's up, Henry? How's it going, Henry? I don't think I've ever seen a Henry here before. So thanks for hanging out, saying hi. What's going on, man? College currently, and I'm struggling a lot. Oof. I think we all struggle in college, man. What's going on? I've definitely struggled. I definitely struggled a lot in college too. Trust me. I was not the best of students, but I pushed through. I figured out what I was doing wrong, and all you can do is improve. But you have to have like the insight and self reflection and discipline to change, uh, which is all obviously the hardest part. Well, why are you like I said, like the first step is kind of identifying why you're struggling academically, like why. And like you probably already know. And sometimes it's hard to admit like we're not studying enough. I'm not motivated enough. I don't like my major. I don't want to do this anymore. Like those are all really valid like answers. They're not excuses. They're just reality. And I think you need to like identify why you're struggling academically, what you can do to change if you want to change, if you truly want to change and do something about it. When it comes to test quiz and any assignments, I struggle and I don't understand. My reading level is very low, and I got tested as a sixth grade reading level for writing and math. Well, then it sounds like you need to find out how to like increase that reading level. A lot of universities, I mean, most universities actually have free tutoring for students, depending on the course you're taking. So I'd definitely take advantage of like any free tutoring services that are offered at your school. I know when I went to UNM, that was like a free service. And then go online and figure out how like to increase your reading level. I don't know if it sounds like you're already taking kind of a writing and math course, but maybe you can take like an intro level English, intro level writing courses, intro level communication courses, just to kind of catch up and try and catch up on that. And then maybe once you feel caught up, then you can start taking like higher level courses, because that is going to affect every single course. If you have like a low reading level, as you get higher and higher throughout into college, like the level of detail and just how can I explain it? It's just going to get harder. So I think that's something you really need to improve on early on before, maybe even continuing. Did you make your own Anki cards or use OnKing? I only used OnKing, Lilco. Only OnKing. He is the OnKing, and I used all of his cards. I matured the full OnKing deck a month, or I didn't mature it. I had activated or whatever every single card like 1 month before I started my step dedicated. So yeah, I went super hard on the OnKing. Super hard. Maybe I should make a video on that soon. So I did make a like how I studied for step 1 video, and basically my Anki schedule was on there, like my Anki method. So you can take a look at that video. Like I can make an updated video, but it's kind of going to be repetitive. So I'd rather not, but that's something you can probably take a look at and understand how I used Anki for my lectures, for each weekly quiz, but also like for step prep. How do you figure out what system works for you? I switch my study method. Yeah, you kind of have to find your system. So you have to give a system, a decent amount of time. Like if you start a system, you're not going to see like results in a week. Like you're not going to know if it works in a week, maybe not even 2 weeks if you're not doing it correctly. So you got to figure out like, is the system working? If it's not, then it's okay to switch. But I think a lot of people like just switch back and forth between different study techniques instead of sticking with one and figuring out if that really works for them. Basically for me in medical school, I did a bunch of flashcards and then mostly practice questions. And that's pretty much like the bulk of it. A lot of flashcards, a lot of practice questions. And then if I was still like not getting a certain topic with those, then I would review like using a video like Boards and Beyond or something. But definitely spaced repetition and application are the best way to do it. By far for me. That's just what worked for me. Other students are smarter and they can just get it from a video. Not me. I gotta work a little bit harder to get the results I want. When I'm learning new content, I just make questions from what I think is high yield and put the answers in my own words. That's a really good strategy, Henry. That's definitely a way you can do it. Also, whenever you're in class, you can kind of anticipate what the teachers are going to ask. After you're in the class for a while, you kind of just realize their style and they'll like pretty much give away what they're going to ask. It's kind of, I don't know. It's something you can kind of anticipate. But that's what's tough about undergrad, that you have so many different professors. It's really hard to, sometimes anticipate, but that's kind of how I would do it. It's good to summarize like the content in your own words and then make your own practice question. That's a good reason too. What if my lectures don't really match up with OnKing? Should I make my own cards? I don't know, Lil. Like I said, I never made my own cards. Basically, what do you mean by whenever you say they don't match with the OnKing? Because I felt like I always could find cards that matched up with the lectures. So I guess tell me how you're using OnKing. Tell me how you're using Anki, like to find. Are you going through like broad like the whole biochemistry section? Are you searching through four cards? How are you doing it? Struggle with those a lot during the lab assignment reports. I found that working with like your lab partner or with other people in the class really helped, Henry. That's something I highly recommend. If there's other people in that class, like form a study group. I know it's hard and sometimes it's awkward, but honestly, working together really helped me when I was doing like my chemistry labs, my physics labs, and then even like my math, not my math lab, but like my math class. I would meet up with some classmates that weren't like my friends from high school or really that I knew. We just like formed a little study group. And I felt like that was super effective for me. If you feel lost, like prior to the lab, or you can ask to meet like with the TA before the lab, email them, like tell them, hey, I'm always lost during the labs. Is there a way that we can meet ahead of time so I kind of know what to expect? Different things like that. Um, So I'll be taking Gen Chem 2 this fall, but the problem is I took Gen Chem 1 like last year and I kind of forgot some stuff. Should I do Khan Academy to catch up? Yeah, I think Khan Academy is like a really good resource, to kind of catch up. It really depends on how your chemistries are structured at your school. Some schools, I mean, most schools are like, you should remember what you did in Chem 1 for Chem 2. But I felt like the labs were pretty like, I mean, yeah, it builds on the foundation, but general chemistry is like just kind of so general and basic. You kind of just have to understand principles to carry over into Gen Chem 2. So I wouldn't say it's as tough as say like OChem 1 into OChem 2. I felt like OChem 1 to OChem 2 was a much bigger like amount of knowledge that you had to carry through, but general chemistry didn't feel like it was as much. I've been doing like EdReady, which helps you learn the basics of reading and writing and grammar. I've never heard of that, Henry. EdReady. Um, but if it feels like it's helping you like learn it, helps feels like it's helping you catch up, then I think you should keep using it. The problem is the things I know the things I need to work on, but I don't know what exactly to do. Yeah, I think you're like I said, I think you just need to try different strategies. Like go to the tutors. Sometimes they can help you. Like you know what you need to work on, but you just have to find a strategy that's gonna help you work on that basically. Like it's not gonna happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. It's gonna take time to learn. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people see, like YouTubers and all this stuff. It sounds like they got it all together, but it takes time to learn different strategies and implement them and learn effectively. It's not something you can just do from one day to the next. It's a learned skill. It's a learned, it's just a learned skill. I'm not gonna say it's an ability. I truly think it's a skill you can develop. That's your problem right there, Henry. You already feel like you're behind. That's wrong. Stop letting these people put timeline on where you should be, where you shouldn't be. Like that is one of the biggest mistakes just anybody in college can make. Everybody feels like if they get behind, that's not a thing in this life, man. Life is long. Life is 80 years old. You're 20. You got time, my man. I hear that so much, and that it really bothers me. And I remember being there too. I felt like I was behind so many times, but now that I'm like so close to finishing, I'm like that's not a thing. Being behind is not a thing in this world. I just want you to know that and feel that. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, oh man, I always feel so bad for students that feel like they're behind. That's not a thing. Yeah, no problem, Henry. I'm here, man. I know it's tough. Especially like at this point in the semester, it feels like pretty much all of it is gone. But I think the biggest thing when I was struggling in college was reflecting on why I was doing a poor job studying or learning or whatever, coming up with a strategy to fix it, and then implementing the strategy 110% and seeing if it worked. Um, and that's honestly all you can do. Like that's what you can do with anything in life. That's all you can do for anything in life. Yeah, Henry. I actually started making videos when I got accepted into medical school. I said that if I got accepted to medical school, that's when I would start, and I did, and I'm really glad I did. And here we are now. 5 years later, it's crazy, crazy that it's been that long. Yeah, definitely come a long way. It's crazy just to reflect on my own progress. Honestly, really cool. And that's the thing too. Like I'm just so proud I never gave up. Like at some point you have to start learning to be proud of yourself. I think not enough students do that. Hype themselves up. Just when you expect a good grade but don't get it, it hits your confidence a lot for some reason. Yeah, I know. I think that's like, yeah, that's one of the worst parts. You studied your butt off. You think you did good. You think you did everything you needed, and then you don't get the results you wanted. It really sucks. But like I said, all you can do is reflect and go from there. You can't go back in time, so you just got to figure it out. Like it sounds blunt and brutal, but that's kind of how I just worked with it. Um, I came to a point in my life where I was just very blunt and brutal with myself, and it ended up working out. And that's kind of who I am as a person. But to me, that was the reality. That was my reality, I guess I should say. What made you push and not give up when you were applying to MD schools? So, what kind of kept me going, Henry, was I was volunteering at a clinic where I was taking care of a lot of people, and the volunteering really refreshed me. Like, this is what I'm working toward. Like, because I would be working around doctors and all that stuff. So I think that really helped me just like focus in and make myself like motivated. Like, if I want to be what they're doing, I need to work my butt off. Like, that was just the reality. So that's all it took for me. Yeah, that's what it was. Taking care of people, seeing all the doctors, and what I knew I needed to work my butt off to get there. That's pretty much it. How many hours a day did you study during preclinical? I studied a decent amount. Um, I wouldn't get up super early. I wasn't a go to lecture kind of guy. Um, Step one studying was kind of ridiculous, but kind of on a normal day, when I was in, preclinical years, I would wake up 6, 7, 8. I didn't really have like that hard of a time unless I had a lecture I had to be at by 8. First thing in the morning, I would literally make coffee and then start my Anki cards. I would finish my Anki cards like at least within 2 hours. When I was like on fire, I could get them done within an hour, on the days that I was really good. And then after that, I would kind of, just review whatever else I felt like I was weak in. Do USMLE practice questions on UWorld or USMLE RX, and like my days were pretty good during preclinical years. I wasn't like killing myself studying. Um, I would front load my week, so my Sunday, Monday, Tuesday were like a ton of studying those days because I would activate cards and like work through them. So those days were a lot longer when I was learning cards, but as the week progressed, it got easier and easier. So that's kind of how I was doing it. I wouldn't say I was studying, I wasn't studying more than 6 hours a day, if I'm being quite honest. Of like actual hardcore studying. I think 6 hours was enough for me. Like, yeah, I would go to coffee shops and um like study, but how many hours were you like focused 100% on it? I think that's like just something, you got to just kind of know yourself. Because like for me, I know for me myself, like I never was 100% focused on myself. I would, you know like, yeah, open the thing, but can't say I was always 100% just focused on the practice question, looking around at my surroundings, chilling, going on my phone, like all those things. Yep, exactly. Daily studying, every single day a little bit, every single day a little bit. That's something I didn't learn until medical school, if I'm being quite honest. How do you build it? Just work on it every single day. Say, I'm going to get up at 6 a.m., do this much studying in an hour, throw your phone away, throw it in the ocean. Like, I think our phones are the biggest, like, one of the biggest problems. Like, whenever you're studying, like, get rid of your phone, throw it away. Just like, you need to do something about it. Cause even me now, like, I'm on my phone all the time, but like, you need to get rid of your phone if you're on the phone a lot. If you're on the computer and you cannot like control yourself going to other tabs, like you have to figure out how to stop that. Like you need to figure out how to stop your distractions. What are you doing Tuesday? I think AI is a really good tool for people to use. Yeah, I think it's a great tool. I mean, we've been using AI all around us for pretty much everything. I think you need to just learn how to use it appropriately. And I honestly think it's great. I think it's really good for learning. People can really, use it to their advantage if they use it correctly. I think it's great to help you with homework. Like if you have homework, you can ask it to explain a problem, you enter it in. But I think if you're using it, can you use AI? Yeah, you can use AI to study in medical school. What's stopping you from doing it? The only thing is, what I'm saying is, if you have a practice question and you use AI to answer it, then it's, you know, like that's a mistake if you're not using the answer to learn from it so you can answer it whenever you don't have AI. Like I think that's a mistake a lot of people are going to do, but if you learn to use it to learn, I think it's a great tool. If you use it to answer a question that you don't know and don't figure out why you don't know it, then it's a problem. That's my thoughts on the AI dilemma. Just chat gpt, honestly. Chat gpt right now. I use a few website builder AI tools. Right now that's actually what I'm working on. I'm working on a new website for a different project. um, yeah, I mean, different editing softwares have a lot of really cool AI. uh, if you use TikTok, that's AI. If you use YouTube, there's AI. All those editing things. I use it for text reading and ask what questions could I put for the reading and answer them. Yeah, exactly. You can ask it to create questions from material that you give it, and then tell it not to give you the answer. until after you've answered, and then it can also critique your answer. Especially in writing, you can ask it to critique it, on its grammar, on its flow, on different things, and it'll tell you. And what's cool is that it's blunt. We like blunt. I like blunt. That's funny. I'm literally using a website. Right now. I'm using AI to build. I just built a whole a full entire web page just now. Obviously, I need to do a bunch of edits still, but as we're talking, I literally built it because it made it so easy. But yeah, just Chat GPT, Open AI is great right now, I think. There's some really cool medical AI tools. I just signed up for one called Glass AI. It can kind of help you steer your differentials based on inputs you give it. Obviously, you don't use it, to diagnose a patient, but it can help you, go down certain paths if you suspect something. And then what I like about it specifically is you can start building your own little case log over time for patients that have certain medical history, age, gender, all these things. Start building your own illness scripts for yourself and be able to access them later. I think that's really cool. I think that's my favorite part about it. But that's also some other wiki thing. So it's not unique. I think it just offers the opportunity for a illness script bank. That's what I like about it.